Hi, you guys. Okay, Power Book Ghost Season 2, Episode 1. Free will is never free. The episode opening begins with Tariq. It's the morning after Jabari's murder, where we left off at. And he went to his grandmother's house and he's being tormented in his dreams by by Jabari's murder and his father's murder. And this is completely normal if you're a sane person or halfway sane. So yeah, all these things are coming back to haunt Tariq. Jasmine is in the kitchen and she's trying to burn the house down by making her and Big Mama some breakfast. And Tariq goes in there and he puts the fire out and he's like, what the fuck, Grandma? Like, Jazz shouldn't be cooking. And wait a minute, is her name Yaz or Jazz? Well, anyway, she shouldn't be cooking. And Big Mama's like, well, I cooked when I was her age. Your mother cooked when she was her age. She got to learn. And we find out that Big Mama has been drinking. This life is too much for Big Mama. She's not used to raising Tasha's children. She didn't ask for this, so it's taking a toll on her. At this moment, Tariq feels like he needs to contact Tasha to make her aware of what's going on down here. Over at the Tejada's family, Monet also is shook up in her spirit. How she killed Rico is tormenting her, and I think more so because she know that Rico may have some goons that's on the loose trying to run down on her. So she hears a noise in the kitchen and she goes down there with her gun, all scared. And it's nobody but Drew. Drew is still recovering from his gunshot wound and he broke a glass by mistake. We can tell that Monet feels real fucked up that Drew even got shot, and Drew is real aggy towards his mother now. And I don't really blame him because he didn't ask for this lifestyle. And yeah, it comes with the lifestyle, violence and things like that. But he probably thought that by him being kind of low key, he wasn't like his brother, rah and stuff. So he probably thought that it wouldn't happen to him. And Monet just keep making them be in this lifestyle, and these are the consequences that they have to pay. Diana tells Drew, like, look, she feels bad about what happened to you. It's not entirely her fault. And Drew's like, she don't feel as bad as I do. Kane is making new friends with a guy named Mecca. And Kane is asking him 21 questions. So Mecca is like, look, I get the feeling that you keep questioning me. Are you testing me or something? And as soon as he said that, I think this is the GTG members. They come around the corner and they are ready for smoke because Kane took out one of their members. Actually, I'm thinking this is from the pool incident. Anyway, Mecca didn't have no patience for any of it. He snatched that gun from that boy. He shot up all the crew members and left them for dead. So Kane said, well, I can tell you not a fad now. Okay, y'all, McLean is about to get his 15 minutes of fame. He's going to be on the Soledad O'Brien show today. Soledad comes in and she welcomes McLean, and Sax walked in and she was like, oh, y'all two was on opposite ends of the defense team for Tasha St. Patrick. She was like, this is interesting. Sax is like, yeah, well, opposites attract. And what's up with the McLean and Associates? I thought we were partners. So McLean is like, he gotta have some bullshit because him and Sax is two peas in a pod, okay? They are the same. They don't care about nobody's interests but themselves. McLean tells Sax that your name is on there. It's McLean and Associates. You're the associate. Well, that conversation gets interrupted by a phone call from Tariq. Tariq needs to see if McLean can get in touch with Tasha, and he tells Tariq that, look, that's not how witness protection works. And Tariq is like, look, this is very important. It has something to do with my sister, and I'll make it worth your while. Clean tells him, look, I'll get back to you when I see what I can dig up. He told Sax what's going on, and Sax is like, now, He already killed one parent. Why would I contact Tasha just so he can kill her as well? McLean said, look, I told him that I can see what I can dig up, not find her. And I plan on sucking his pockets dry while doing so. Zeke is on a basketball court training with a coach, and his crossroad is if he should go into the professional league now or wait. Zeke said while training is good for another year, he don't want to miss out on the opportunity. Coach advises him that even with the risk of injuries, you don't want to come out too early and fuck up a good career. And he asks him, do you even want to come out now? Tells Zeke to think about what you really want. Raiden runs down on Tariq on campus and he's like, yo, where you been at last night? He was out killing people. Tariq tells him that he was over at his grandmother's house, and Braden is like, oh yeah, the big family reunion. And Tariq said, well, actually, my mom had to go on witness protection. So Braden's like, damn, that's fucked up. Well, to take your mind off things, how about you come along with me to my family's hunting trip? Nothing will take your mind off anything like, killing some deers. Rika's like, yeah, I don't know. And Braden said, well, at least come to the kickoff. Because if you don't come, I'll be stuck there and it'll be all about me and my future and blah, blah, blah. So Tariq is like, hold up. This isn't really about me getting some relaxation. This is about me helping you deflect. And Braden was like, well, kinda. Just do me a solid and do this. And Tariq said he'll think about it. Tariq hits the class and he runs into Lauren. And Lauren is like, Tariq, I heard that your mother got released. Why didn't you say anything? I would love to meet her. Girl, sit down. Curry comes out in the hall and she noticed that all the students are waiting outside of Jabari Reynolds' classroom, waiting for him to unlock the doors. And she asked them, like, what's up with Jabari? Have anybody seen Mr. Reynolds or heard from him? And everyone says they hasn't. Tariq said, nope, I haven't heard from him. Kari goes on and unlocks the classroom doors and she's calling Jabari and she's like, where are you? These ethics terms are about to start. You need to be here. Professor Curry starts the class, and y'all remember how colonics class is, whatever is the topic they're discussing, Tariq is living it. Professor Curry starts with the question for today. Is free will an illusion? Do we make our own decisions? Or are they preordained? Brashonda said, well, I make my own decisions. And another student said, are you sure? Your hair, your nails, your effect, they all come from where you came from. You didn't make those choices. Goes on to say, Sam Harris said, the thought and the intentions emerge from the background causes of which we are unaware and over which we have no conscious control. Brashonda said, my best friend has a baby and an EBT card, not me, because I chose to be here instead. Aerosol said that we have the power to do or not to do. Curry said, well, what about you, Tariq? What do you think? Tariq said, it doesn't feel like it sometimes, but yes, I believe in free will. So Luke is like, well, it ain't about how you feel. What do you believe? And Tariq says, so you think everything is predetermined? But I bet you when you walk across the street, you look both ways. Tariq tells him, you can't base your life around predetermined beliefs because we just don't know. We all have to play the cards that we are dealt and deal with the consequences. That's just life. Monet and Diana is out doing some shopping, and Diana tried on this nice dress. She looked good in it. And her mother said, what you try that on? Take that shit off. And she was like, don't I look good? And she said, take that shit off. Monet is psycho crazy. I'm telling you, I would leave home and I wouldn't come back. Like, what is Diana, almost 30? Come on now. McLean is taking Sex to get a makeover, and Sex is like, what is all this for? And McLean tried to explain to him. He said, if you walk into a strip club and you see a stripper that has last year's G-string on, would you stick around to pay her rent? McLean goes on to say, at your old job, you had to look trustworthy. In this profession, you have to look successful, and smart. We here at McLean and Associates, we win cases and we look good doing that shit. Monet and Diana is now back at the bar, and they're taking all those shopping bags that they collected today, and they had their fine merchandise in. Oh, they're taking all those luxury brands out, and they're replacing them with bricks, all white bricks, light tan bricks. Okay. Let's go over here to Rashad Tate. Now, he's over at his brother's house, and they're all drinking and shit on the couch, slumped over. His brother come downstairs, and he like, look, I would like to come down here and watch my TV sometimes. Tells him, look, I understand that you lost the governor's race and everything. And Tate said, I didn't lose. I was robbed. Brother tell him that is no excuse for you to be laying around soaking up in your misery. Still have a seat as a councilman, and you still have the ear of the people. Governor position was just a means to an end, but what you really want is the power. So what I'm gonna need you to do is find another mean or find another fucking couch. Monet and Diana packed all the work up, and Diana is driving, and Monet tells her to pull over. She want to run in the store and get something for Drew. So Diana does so. Monet is in the store. Diana gets pulled over by the police. When Monet comes out, Monet is like, oh shit, because she knows mad drugs in the back of the car. And she goes to pull out her gun. Why? I do not know. Because Monet, you will not shoot no cop in broad daylight in front of all these people. The cop goes back in his car, pulls off. Monet comes over and was like, what the fuck he wanted? Diana tells her mother, they wanted me to move my car, and I did what you told me. Smile a lot, flirt a little, and make them feel like they can get it. It's exactly what Diana did, and it worked out well for her. The officer even gave Diana his business card. When Drew gets home, he finds a bag of art supplies, and this is what Monet went in the store to grab for Drew. And I thought that was so sweet, because Monet is the type that will buy her child a gun before she buy him anything that can make him productive and grow his talent. Drew tried to sketch, and of course his drawing hand is messed up because he was shot, and he gets frustrated and throws the sketch pad and color pencils. But didn't he get shot like 2 weeks ago? Like, come on now, Drew. It's going to take time. Calm down. Tariq decides to join Brayden for the weekend. And when they hit the corner, Brayden family is there with a nice Benz with a big bow on it. And Tariq is impressed. He like, dang. It's like, Dad, you get a brand new Benz? Brayden is not falling for the shit. He know it's all about his father trying to bribe him to join this club or society, something like that. And I was kind of taken back at how surprised and excited Tariq was. Like, Tariq, you come from that. Your father would have did the same for you if you wouldn't have killed him. Brayden's father is giving some corny speech about the Western weekend and their secret society. And Brayden's sister, she's like, she's not feeling this, she calls it misogyny society. And she says, looking back at her father's old yearbook, that you can practically taste the roofies. The sister passes Tariq the yearbook. So Tariq is looking through the yearbook, and Brayden's brother gonna get up and snatch the yearbook from him and say, no, you gotta be a pledge to look through this book. Boy, sit your ass down. Uncle Rick comes over to talk to Brayden, and Brayden's father also joined the conversation. And Uncle Rick was asking Brayden, what's his plans for the summer? Brayden said that he plans to do some entrepreneurship, and his father's like, no, he'll be interning down at the family's hedge fund, just like Trace. And he said, Terrell, no, not Terrell, Tariq. Yeah, Tariq, we have internships available. Tariq said, well, actually, I haven't thought about that yet. And Uncle Rick is like, well, you should. Stansfield has opened its doors to students like you who may have not gotten in a traditional way, and they might not have the proper guidance to succeed. And Brayden's like, hold up, Uncle, that's not Tariq. Tariq is taking colonics, and he's killing it in class. Uncle Rick said, well, I'm glad that Stansfield's Need Blind Admission program is successful. succeeding. Tariq had to tell him, actually, no, sir. My college education is funded by my father's trust fund. Councilman James St. Patrick and Uncle Rick is like, oh yeah, I met him at a DNC fundraiser before. Like, that gotta be hard for you losing a father. And I hope all those things, those rumors that were said about him aren't true. Things about selling drugs in the community and the havoc that it can wreak. Tariq said, well, I agree with you. Look at what opioids are doing across the country. But big pharmacies aren't getting put in prison for dealing oxys. Uncle Rick tried to say, oh no, prescription drugs is way different from street drugs. And Tariq said, yeah, because prescription drugs are killing more people at a higher rate than what street drugs are. It's a shame that society is still blind to this, or are they really? It's just that it doesn't surprise me that they try to cover it up, but you'll ask the average person and they don't see that. They don't see that, all these pharmaceutical drugs are, making people addicts, strung out. Okay, y'all. So Tariq killed Jabari at night, the night before. Or maybe 2 nights before. I don't know. I'm going to say the night before. So a whole day go by and nightfall comes and they just finding his body in the park. Okay, whatever. Detective Whitman is on the case and he finds out that they found the murder weapon and that the murder weapon is tracing back to Ramirez. Whitman is really not buying it because he's like, okay, he could have killed him and left town, but he would leave the murder weapon right here for us to find. Detective remember Jabari from helping out with the CTG member that died at the pool, that was killed at the pool. Take his ass over to Sack's old boss's house, and he wants to get Governor Sweetney out his seat. And Sack's old boss is like, are you crazy? If you're looking for a vote, you won't get it this way. What you're gonna have to do is find some dirt on him that's like real dirty. But until then, if you don't find that, you don't have no luck, my G. And Tate is like, look, you just promised me one thing. If I bring the dirt, that you'll push it through. So Tate shiesty ass about to go find some dirt on Governor Sweeney. Carrie is leaving her sponsor a voice message, and she tells her that she's sorry that she's been busy, and she promised that she's not involved with Zeke or Jabari, but she did get a call from someone that she used to date and work with, and he's a real guy, a real good guy, and that she's excited about because he asked her out for coffee, and she's excited about meeting up with him. Carrie meets up with this guy, and it's Detective Whitman, and she's excited and happy to see him, and she's like, should we go on in? And he's like, yeah, but before we go there, I want to take you somewhere right quick. He takes her down to the morgue. So they gets down there, pull the sheet back, and Carrie is shook up. She is like, what the hell? What happened to him? And the detective is like, you know this person? Can you identify him? Yes, this is Jabari Reynolds. He's asking her, how does she know him? She told him, yeah, we work together. He says to Carrie, well, from your reaction, it seems like it was something deeper. Carrie said, well, yeah, in the past it was. The detective continues to grill Carrie, and he's like, when did the last time you talked to him? What did y'all talk about? And Carrie she's answering the questions, but she's fucked up behind Jabari is dead. And she said, she just broke down and she's like, I'm so sorry, Jabari, I'm so sorry. And so the detective is like, what do you have to feel sorry about? And she's like, excuse me, you think I did this shit? Says to her, well, you do have a way of blurring the lines between professional and personal. And Carrie is like, fuck you. You try to come at me with this amateur hour bullshit. If you need any more questions answered, you contact my lawyer. As she goes to leave, the detective said, look, Carrie, you can leave or you can help. Could you get a list of all the students that you and Jabari interviewed for the CTG murder. Carrie asks him, so you think that those are related? And he's like, it's no coincidence that you two start questioning students and then he ends up dead. My thing is to the detective is why you bring Carrie into this? Yes, okay. Why did he treat Carrie that way? Okay, we know Carrie is a hoe, but that doesn't make her a murderer. Brayden is bitching to Tariq about his father trying to bribe him into the frat and the secret society, which he does not find any substance in. He's ready to be his own man. He said that's why he loves working with Tariq. And he says to Tariq, I hope that you don't plan on retiring anytime soon. So while he's talking about that, it's mail alert going around on campus, and they're telling everybody about Professor Jabari Reynolds' murder. Brayden like, oh shit, did you see this? Did you hear about this? And Tariq is like, nope, sure didn't. With Drew getting shot and Diana getting pulled over earlier, Monet done had enough, and she said she has a plan to get them out of the game. And the kids is like, for real? Monet says she's going to convince Zeke to join the draft this year, and in about 3 years, when his endorsements start to kick in, there's more cash flow. In about 3 years, they'll be out. Diana asks Monet, will Zeke be down with that? And Monet tells her, girl, he don't got no choice. Monet has it all planned out. She says she'll do the management. Drew will travel with Zeke. And Diana is going to be the one who do his publicity. Diana asks her mother, so we going to be working for Zeke now? And Drew is like, no, Zeke is the new product. And Monet is a piece of shit for that, because that's what she was looking at Zeke for in the beginning, taking care of him, making sure he's straight, just so she can have a crutch to fall back on. And there's nothing wrong with that for our families to think like, well, yeah, if I don't have anything, I got this person. But no, it's a lot of underhanded shit with Monet. And as Monet is talking to her kids, she also gets an alert that Professor Jabari Reynolds has been murdered. And she asked them, do y'all know anything about this? And they like, no. Okay, back at Stansfield, Lauren just bombarded her way up into Tariq's room like she always do. She tells Tariq that she's just so fucked up about what happened to Professor Reynolds. And she noticed that Tariq isn't upset and is not showing any emotions. And Tariq tells her like, listen, I've been through a lot. My sister is dead. My mother is in Witsat. Girl, I have no more tears to shed. Tells her, you don't know how I feel. And she goes over to him, grab his hand, and was like, I want to know. I want you to tell me. And then they start kissing. And it seems like they was about to get it in. And here comes a text from Kane. And he wants to meet with Tariq right now. Tariq goes to meet up with Kane, and Kane is like, yo, what the fuck? They showing Jabari face all over everywhere, and why aren't they putting this on Detective Ramirez if we left the gun there? Tariq tells Kane, look, nobody is going to be looking into us. They're going to have to look into Ramirez. And Kane is like, well, okay, this was your plan. Tariq gets a text from Monet saying that she want to meet up. And he tells Kane, and Kane like, Jabari Reynolds was your professor, right? That's what she probably wants. And the best thing for you is just to stay quiet. Don't say shit. And so Tariq was like, well, lying to her, it could be bad. And Kane tells Tariq, well, telling her the truth could be fucking worse. Please do not tell me that Tariq is going to take this advice of this stupid ass boy. Kane tells Tariq, well, you the one who said that she wouldn't even find out about the shit. And Tariq tells Kane, look, if you just shut the fuck up about this, won't nobody find out. Let me find out Kane's skirt. And just like Kane predicted, Monet wanted to talk to Tariq about Professor Jabari. So when he comes in, it's Monet and Drew and Diana, and Monet asks him, have you heard about this? And Tariq is like, yeah, I heard about it. She said, do you have anything to do with it? He's like, no, And Diana is like, even she's looking like, you don't have nothing to do with this? And she was like, don't you think it's going to be a lot because of they already investigating the CTG murder? And Tariq's like, well, I don't know nothing about that. I don't got anything to do with that. I'm good. And Monet is like, you know what'll happen to you if you lie to me, right? And Tariq is like, yeah. And I'm like, what's going to happen to him? Monet tells Tariq, look, I don't need my #1 distro to be wrapped up in no bullshit. And this I do understand because it's going to fall back on Monet or trickle over to Monet if it don't fall back on her. You know, it's going to put her in the eyes of the law. And then they probably want to investigate her father. He also gives Tariq all that work that was in that shopping bags. Yeah, she want him to get rid of it. Diana was helping Tariq get the shopping bags together, and Diana is making small conversations with Tariq, and she asked about Tariq's mom, and she tells Tariq, well, you know, if you need to talk about anything, I'm here for you. And Tariq start talking, and they get closer because they do have sexual chemistry. You know, we can tell that they like one another. And she gets closer, and Monet come peeping around that corner and say, Diana, get your ass in here and wash these dishes. Monet is a blocker for sure. Oh my gosh, take your old ass somewhere. Monet needs some dick. Not no jailhouse rock dick. Somebody that's home, can keep her on her toes. Like, Monet, stay out of motherfuckers' business and come over here and get this dick. That's what she needs. Curry over there still fucking on Zeke. He did pop up at her house and he was like, why you ain't answer the phone? I've been calling you. Did you hear about Jabari? He's been shot. Who shot him? Why the fuck is everybody asking Curry who the fuck shot Jabari? Curry is still fucked up about the situation. She asked Zeke just to hold her. And it wound up they had intercourse. Afterwards, Curry comes out and she tells Zeke, like, look, I seen his body. I identified his body. And Zeke said, you never did answer me. What happened to him? Who shot him? Curry said, I do not know. Do you think that Tejada had something to do with this? And Zeke said, no, absolutely not. Curry said, well, yeah, Monet came and threatened me. He told me if I say anything about what happened to you that night you got jumped, that she will report me and tell that I was sleeping with you. Zeke said, damn, she know about us. And Curry like, yeah. And she knew that Jabari was asking questions about the GTG incident. He said, well, that doesn't make her a murderer. Monet would never do anything to jeopardize my future. Zeke tells Curry it has to be something else. Tariq packs all of the work that Monet gave him in Brayton's brand new Benz. Although Brayton is happy that Tariq is still in business, he's worried about being pulled over. Tariq tells him, if you get pulled over, show your ID, and when they see that you're a Western, they'll apologize for pulling you over. White privilege is just another tool in our bag. Why not use it? Just drive under 65 miles per hour and you'll be fine. Brayton tells Tariq, okay, I'll park this at my parents' country house until we find a place to move it. Brayton says, Tariq, you're going to love hunting. Mecca invites Kane over and he passes over the guy that got away the other day. And Mecca said, he tells Tariq, you can show him mercy, make him suffer, or kill him. Just know whichever you choose will show me the type of man you are. Mecca is not a dumb person at all, and Kane is an asshole. And my prediction of Mecca is that he see right through Kane. Kane said, say less. I don't need him tied up to beat his ass. Kane set the dude loose, and Kane almost got his ass beat. But he came back, snapped that man's neck, killing him. Kane tells Mecca, I don't have to prove to you, but that's who I am. Mecca said, I see. Back at the Tejadas, Diana is talking to Drew, and she's asking him about the conversation they had with Tariq. And she asks Tariq, do you believe Tariq didn't kill that professor? And Drew said, Monet think she's smart asking him like that. No is the only answer that he could give her, no matter what the truth is. He's just going in. She's the part of the reason I got shot. I told her we needed Kane. Her pride wouldn't listen. Now she's trying to be concerned, and she should have been concerned before this happened. He didn't even ask us how we feel about this bullshit exit strategy. We not kids no more. Diana asks Drew, did you notice how she didn't even include Dad in the exit plan? So what, we supposed to just leave him? That's not right. She says to Drew, it would be nice to make our own decisions sometimes. Drew said, well, maybe we should stop waiting for her to give us permission and start making moves on our own. Monet is going to kill their asses. And this is a shame because they're almost 30. Kane gets caught snooping in Mecca's stash. Kane said, I'm not going to say shit. Mecca said, and I'm supposed to trust you? Why shouldn't I did your ass right now? Kane tells him, you just seen my work. And I see you got all this weight but no soldiers. No one is more vicious and loyal than me. Give me a shot. Tyreek is joining Brayden on his family annual hunting tradition, and they're all setting up waiting for a deer. Finally, they spot a deer, and Brayden's father or uncle take a shot, and they hit the deer. The deer is injured, but it didn't knock him down. So Tyreek and Brayden start chasing the deer down, and Uncle Rick, I guess he thought he could hit the deer again, shot at the deer and almost shot Tyreek. That shook Tyreek ass up because Tyreek is just a running. And I'm like, where are you running to? And Tyreek is running, and he ran down to the deer, and then he started having visions of Jabari and his father. This shit be fucking with him. The crew catches up with Tyreek, and Brayden says to his Uncle Rick, you're lucky that you didn't hit him, Dick Cheney. He called him Dick Cheney. As a peace offering, Tyreek was offered the kill shot to the deer, but Tyreek was frozen, and Brayden did the honors, killing off the deer, and Tyreek said, this some bullshit, and he just took off. Tyreek should have hit that man right in the throat. Monique goes to see Zeke, and Zeke asks Monet, you been threatening my professor? And Monet said, the one you been fucking? Yes, I told her what time it is. And Zeke said, you shouldn't have did that. I told you she didn't know nothing. And now that Professor Reynolds is dead, she's questioning me about shit. Please tell me you didn't have anything to do with that murder. And Monet said, I swear I didn't have anything to do with his murder. Now, let's discuss some important shit. Because, you know, she got to get down to the money. She trying to get out. So Monet is trying to get Zeke signed up to the first for the first draft pick that's coming up. And the conversation that he had with his coach earlier, he's kind of unsure. He wants to stay and get some more training and enter into the next draft pick. Monet wasn't trying to hear any of that. She said, you got to make this move for the family, Zeke. Enough of this Curry shit. Enough distractions. Get your head in the game. Tate is back at his brother's house. He tells him he got a plan. He's back in motion, and nothing's going to stop him from his goal. But he needs a favor from his brother, his cop brother. He needs him to log on to the police database and get everything he can on Congressman Rick Sweetney, the same one who shot at Tyreek. His ass. McLean goes down to see his brother, who seems like he's doing a hard life sentence. McLean tells him that he got a white man sex that's going to help him get out of jail early. He says, you're not going to die here. And his brother said, get me out of here. McLean said, have I ever lied to you? His brother said, fuck yeah. And they laughed. And McLean said, well, not this time. McLean is sneaky and dirty. He always has something up his sleeve. And him and Sax are the same, and they will not work out. Monet hears something again, and she grabs her gun, and she goes to the door only to see Kane. And Kane said, for real, Ma, a gun? You changed the locks on me? Listen, I got a new connect for us. Monet is done and over with Kane, and she leaves him standing on the outside of the door. And as Kane walks off and gets in his car, we see that Mecca is stalking him outside of Monet's house. And it's something up with Mecca. I don't know yet, but it's something up with him. And then lastly, we have Tariq. Tariq, this stupid ass boy, powers up his burner phone. Now, yes, Tariq is trying and hoping that Tasha will hit that phone soon. But as soon as he killed Jabari, he should have got rid of that phone. Tasha would just have to find a way to reach me a whole nother way. Like, no, that's too risky, Tariq. He powers up the phone and he receives a phone call from an unknown number. He picks up the phone, answer it, and he waits for a while before he hears a voice. And the detective is on the other end of the phone, and he says, "This is Detective Kevin Whitman, NYPD. Who is this?" And because of the pregnant pause, the detective was able to trace the call back to Stanford. So Detective Whitman said that's where he needs to focus the murder investigation at. And my head rolled off my shoulder. Tariq is such a dummy. I gave him so much credit in season 1 because the way he was moving was smart. But this one, starting off from this episode, him taking advice from Kane, lying to Monet, and him doing stupid ass shit like saving a phone after a murder, like that you were involved in. No, Tariq, you're a dummy. And that's where the story ends. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.